adjustments just on the composition side here. Foot moving away from like the Omen is a bit more unconventional from them, and also the KO, and they're going to the box standard stuff, trying to really just mirror match it in terms of that meta comp that's really just dominated this map.
Going to be a completely different bind compared to Lotus, where on Lotus we saw two teams with non-meta aligning identities clashing against each other, trying to figure each other out live. This is going to be who can come up with the better game plans with the bind comp at the moment that almost all of the top teams are playing. And they're playing it for a reason. It's got really good reclearability, plant denial, all of this kind of stuff. It also, roughly speaking, fits what these teams want to be putting their players onto. So now it comes down to execution.
These teams have had plenty of time to discuss and talk as well. I mean, there's nothing really to carry away too much from that initial map. As you know, we were hearing from the coach interviews. Barely a pistol round getting away from Foot that really would have made them even competitive to even drag it to OT potentially, but smallest of differences. And now we look towards Bind to see we will get that map number 3. Or is it all just going to end here for EDG? A nice, great beginning, to be honest. They'd love to win this one in a 2-0 fashion after the kind of horrific beginning that they had in Shanghai.
That's absolutely true. And Foot did have a really strong Shanghai performance. They beat Leviathan, they beat Fnatic. These are big scalps for Foot to have taken. But they were 1-1 against the Chinese squads. Don't forget, Foot lost to FPX. And with Trace beating Vitality and FPX close to Team Heretics at this event, might be time for EDG to take another big win of their own.
Let's get to it then. EDG with a setup here, nice early haunt up and over the top. That's not going to be pre-aimed. I mean, I think it's supposed to be landing on top of the grate as well, but it ended up missing and still getting the value here. Spam, shots fired right through the smoke. In through a short, jump spot not punished. Kang over the nade. Push them back and away on either side here. It's a battle on multiple fronts and a wraparound by Mr. Fallen. Unexpected. Here's the footsteps. Pitter-patter of it. Simon. Always bait.
There's another one coming though.
But yeah, Fallen. A lot of areas to look for. Just can't quite manage to just get a handle on any of them. At this point here, pistol round. Distant dream for this Foot team. They got CNED and Yedajay still holding on standby. Oh, and with that fight lost, really no chance in hell. CNED would have to toggle. But the players' positions, EDG not giving anything away. Just a slight jiggle, and Simon, he squares up to him. Enough to deliver that final blow. Bullet to the brain. And a pistol round again gained here for EDG.
A nice one from EDG. They kept it fairly simple. That horn lineup, actually, that is where that's supposed to land. Simon throws that one all the time. It is weird, because you can throw one on top of the grate. DRX kind of do. But the fact that Foot weren't ready for it, to me, is a bit of a worrying sign for the Turkish team.
Yeah,
because,
red flag raised.
Yeah, because that's the one that Simon throws every single time on this map. And so if you're not ready to pre-aim that, you're probably not ready for a lot of the other stuff they're going to bring to bind. It's probably not a map that you've done a lot of anti on coming into this match. Because the middle of the map pools for both of these teams are very similar. It could have been Bind, Sunset, Icebox, any of those maps that EDG ended up picking.
Nobody just needs to survive with this rifle into his hands as well. He's got plenty of players that are trying to bring him down with a horn, pointing him out. So offsets and hands that rifle. Here's the adjustment and reaction out of EDG.
Chichu could go down here as well.
Okay. It's already into their faces. Chichu could have gone down, but now he's going to be trying to sink this one up. CNED running them down with a shorty. Kang, quick to respond. Dropping all of them. Bulldog here had a captain's grasp, but 2v3, you're smoked off. Horn's going to be available in at least 4 seconds, but predictable with the pathing, so EDG get the sightline set on it.
Ada Captain should want this Bulldog to remain out of EDG's hands. If they go for this and they die and it's recoverable, that's a problem.
Kang eager to hunt down these kills as well. Built up 3 already. Spike's ticking, yeah, you got to respect that one now at this point, but already steadily building up towards that ult. 4 away, you got to think, you farm up some quick orbs. If Foot were giving up extremity control that easily from what we saw in the pistol round.
And EDG, with a bit of damage done there to their economy, are going to be able to take 1 less gun into this next round. Somebody's going to have to go onto an eco, but they'll still be fine. They'll still put a pretty dangerous bonus. Kankan at the moment is finding a lot of value out of the Sheriff. He's just running around body-shotting everybody.
One enemy remaining.
He's finding value from it.
Yeah. He's sitting at the top, so bonus round. EDG looking to try and convert this one as well. Get off to a blitzer and start. CNED's postured away. Sees Nade held here, but really, what's the contact? edgvsfut already going to be offloading that one. There's a mosh pit through the TP, not much else behind it. EDG are happy to wait most of this out. Dizzy up and over the top. Nade rebounds. Smokey's all the way in there as well. He's the first point of the contact. Rifles though, that is ridiculous. The Turkish aim classic rears its head for a flawless shutdown at a bonus round.
Very nicely done there from Foot. EDG are going to mostly be running when they exec A, 4-1 execs. They have Chishu, late backstab showers, and the other 4 come down short. Slightly different how other teams do it. A lot of other teams will be running their fade kind of coming through showers like Simon did this time. It's not standard for EDG. But Foot dealt with it all the same. No problems whatsoever. But that was a weaker buy. And arguably the site that Foot are looking to lock down the heaviest. They've got 3 players on A defending. Whereas Mr. Fallen and Ada Captain quite alone over here on the B side of the map.
Very much alone. There's no punish as well on the ore pickup. Prowler and a boombot's going to be used to try and take that B long control mosh pit on top of it. Nobody just making sure that they can hold on and take that space there. Chichu is also trying to feign like there could be the potential of the lurk, but it does lock 2 of the players at least onto that angle on Foot's side. Wrapping all the way around. Is nobody going to try and sell a fake here? What's the play?
I think the fake might be on B here actually, and then they go through the teleport. Just judging by where Chishu is.
They don't have that prior showers control, and someone's going to have to break that.
That's not bad though. I mean, knowing that there's 2 players over there, Krax is still going to rotate though. He smells a rat.
Yeah, he feels it, doesn't he? With them losing that showers control, here's the TP now. Foot going to be asked the question, can they hold this one back? Nade's already rebounded nice and early with the C's. Good connection and a good answer. So, Satchel's a little bit iffy there, not able to get out of dodge as the Haunt wasn't pre-fired, revealed up most, and they've lost a little bit of control of this one. edgvsfut will have to respond, and he will do so! Wrapping it all the way through. Beautiful control with a rifle. Smokey trying to go straight back at him, blow for blow into the 1v1. Time getting against him. Kankan going to get this spike planted down.
He gets
but that puts it online. Showstopper here and ready. Satchel's away, still with a rifle. Now lets it loose. Another captain you've got to be fearing for your life. Not a sound, mate, not a peep. Doesn't want to give anything away, just has to wait this one out along with the fuse with the pre-fire into the corner. Misjudged by Kankan. It was a gamble in the end, but he does reposition with her now. Ada Captain, hello, stick in this. Revealed, but a bullet to the dome. Enough to deliver that 3rd round now for EDG.
It's Kankan there who wins the clutch. A little fortunate that he had that showstopper, because otherwise, Ada Captain was breathing down his neck. But it's not Kankan really that secures the round for them. The Smoggy 3K, it just comes out of nowhere. Smoggy over here, being able to get the kill onto CNED is fair enough, but then beautiful 1v2 onto Mr. Fallen and Krax, and that makes the round winnable for EDG. Otherwise, Foot had the read. Their macro play was better.
Viper's Pit online now for Foot as well. Should make it a little bit less complicated for the defensive calling. That has been a problem, as you've already highlighted.
It's the rifling, really?
Yeah. Winning the fights out.
Yeah, rifling and also some of the micro stuff.
Now the captain is hyper committed. Over towards that B long angle. Cena just watching too. That's a nade used relatively early. To no avail, to be honest. I mean, EDG are happy to just sidestep it out. A bit of spam, though, and bullets. You can't really disrespect that. And here's an attempt that he executes. A mosh over the top. It actually cancels the ult. Mr. Fallen loses control of it. The Thrash will get a second round of things as long as he waits it out. 7 seconds and counting, but EDG going a bit slow and now attempting to speed it up. The tempo increased. That popping from Kankan. No results found. Rifles in the hands of Foot. They want to put a stop to this one. The battle lines are drawn into the sand with the TPs here, and now a Thrash as well to try and at least collect a few more. No, broken just before it can step past it.
2 spotted though, I think.
Yeah, and Chichu and Smoggy The positions are noted now. Just down to Smoggy. 41 health and the pre-aim onto the ankle, Yedajay.
Not a fan of that hookah flood from EDG. I think working the outsides of the map, making sure that they have B-long control is going to be crucial, critical against the way that Foot are playing. The defensive setups are remarkably good, actually, from Foot. This is the first time, well, not the first time, but this is, you know, a different composition to what they've played most recently. Almost all the time they've been playing this KO Gecko comp, where you're using the flashes, actually, to initiate off the back of. Here, Foot have to hold their ground a bit more and work that space denial utility, the mollies, the walls. Slow pace to open this round out.
Yeah, EDG's just going to be focusing on farming up the ults.
And I think the outsides of the map should be favored to EDG. The way that they're defaulting at the moment, it's kind of like 2-1-2 approach.
Chichu even just going for a couple of peeks down A short. Now, there's not too many chances into this round for EDG, but with the more map control is given up for them, the more I might start to become a believer, even if they're working with the pistols. Smokes are now down and out. That's going to commit towards the mollies. The Dizzy did not get broken in time, so we're going to be pushed out of the back of the side here, but he's still, EDG forced to respect most of the mollies coming their way. Plant from Simon is committed. The C's does connect, but there's nothing else again to follow up with this one, so we see that extension into the post. The only difference is they don't have the rifles, but again, that might not stop EDG. Sees, I should say, Dizzy, Satchel, a put over now with a showstopper pre-fired. He was just following the trails there, and the rifle spray down. Kang trying to relieve that pressure. Falling, sticking, have onto the defuse. Needs to be something to offload and push this one back, but sticking it all the way to safety. Despite the kills that are flooding in from EDG, damage definitely done to the economy, but a round win Foot will be happy to walk away with.
Absolutely the case, but Foot should not have allowed it to get that close. They also would have liked to win that round without having to use the showstopper, because now they have an enormous ult disadvantage heading into the rifle round. So I think, all in all, even though the scoreboard would disagree, that's a bit of a win for Edward Gaming.
Yeah.
EDG's ults in particular are the thing to be paying attention to here, but also a massive clash over towards Sand.
Yeah, this one is about to be a brawl in the skirmish. Prowler disrespected Yedajay. He's way ahead of it. He's traded. Thrash just biting at the heels there. The captain's going to be detained, caught. Orbital strike collected, slowed to a crawl, and no more. Brought down. Not expecting this though. Mr. Fallen just anchoring, holding it down, locked down the position, but finally struck from behind. But it's a little bit too late here for Smoggy. Brings it to that 1v2 with the spike hard committed into the site. Again, hard task ahead of him. Pre-firing away into the corners. Doubled up is all it takes from Foot, that discipline.
Anyone have any splints? I may have down, but
it's tough to criticize, but I think EDG, I mean, they're going to take a tag time out here, but I think they needed to call a cancel, a slowdown in the round once they got that ult combo.
Yeah.
They had an enormous player advantage, but they just made it super obvious which side they were hitting, and the rotates were already on the way from A. They also had a very late player coming up B long, and in the end, that anchoring player of Mr. Fallen did so much to win Foot the round there. That's huge ult investments. They had plenty of time when they were coming through hookah there. They could have slowed things down and just been happy with the fact that they had them on the back foot, had a Thrash orbital strike combo. A bit of panic, chaos, thrown into the calling there for EDG. Small things, but they're going to make the difference when you get the champs. I think nobody had a blinder of a game on Lotus too. Just the utility and the way that he was setting up his teammates, and also minimizing his feeding plays, which are, like, that's a genuine thing when it comes to nobody.
It is,
getting
yeah,
value.
sometimes he's...
But right now he's 0-7 on bind, and it's not because he's throwing his life away. It's just he's not being able to find those kills that his team kind of relies on him to get. Those like trade kills, being able to get a random pick in one of these tumultuous situations.
Yeah, right place, right time.
Gonna need to see that newcomer to the IGL role step up for EDG.
EDG opted into the attack side operator here for Kang. This is, they do pull this out from time to time. From the footage I've watched, the trouble is they sometimes don't really know what to do with themselves when they're not offered these easy pickoffs.
They do tend to play quite a bit slower with Kangkang's op, but
okay.
Immediately it finds value.
Yeah, it gets it straight down. Almost to get at the map, A short. And with Yedajay gone as well, at this point, could make a few plays, but risks have to be played here by Fut as well. Seeking to offset the disadvantage. Chichu, it was almost there, man. Almost good enough, just dancing around the bullets for a moment, but just couldn't reset the aim in time.
I like the call here to drive it quickly into B. Mr. Fallen's got to realize quickly that that's what's going on. Adacaptain might be screwed here.
Yeah, he's fully revealed up here. There's too much to deal with the Dizzy overloading him. Damage done potentially through the bodies as well. He's played Mr. Fallen in, but again, tip-tap of the rifles. Tip-tap of the shoes as well. Great movement from the EDG players. Enough to survive into this one here. Kang will lock down that sight line. Nobody to be able to step past that one. Elbow control has been given up. CNED might be the playmaker. No, brought down to his knees. So just the one and it's cracks. They seem to be acutely aware exactly where he might be playing from. Chooses to back away, knows it's an impossibility.
Bit of a misread from Mr. Fallen. He thought that the EDG team was going to react by going down short, the player where they just managed to take down Yedajay. He was running over to the A side to try to reinforce that spot. Didn't realize everyone on EDG barreling towards B. Nice call. Right when we were just talking about the macro, nobody needing to find his moments. Mid-round in there ended up working quite nicely. A reaction to those two players pushing out showers.
Let's take a look at this one. Ah, beautiful.
Did you need the headshot?
Yeah. All off the back of that one. So when EDG do get those opening pickoffs with Kang, the operator played a slower round. It does work out for them. But now with a buy, a little bit all over the place. You know, you see CNED, he's got this outlaw. You'd have to be precise with it so you get real good value. Horn's not broken. EDG know that Showers has given up, but the timing's off in terms of Fut just trying to make sure that they crunch that one. So mosh pit through. Alongside the C's nade, it's all committed nice and early. That's a lot of big tools that Fut would like to use to try and stunt and stop a fast exec. Not that's really any time coming soon with EDG playing this attack side op.
No, they're going to be slow. They're going to be looking for picks. And Fut at some point may peek for info. Similar to how Yedajay was going for that jump peek, he'll have thought he was safe there, trying to take the safer option in the previous round. But of course, there's only so many ways that you can grab info without facing your body into a dangerous spot. Yedajay is working his way forwards again. What a risk.
Yeah, super risky. Just don't know where this operator's going to be, and not just that, you don't know where the players are going to be. Chichu, there with a punish. Make him think twice about it. Yedajay going to be paying with his life yet again. Cracks. So he's going to play spoiler inside the smoke. Has to dodge most of the util coming his way, including the bullets. Nobody with a plan as well. Here's that reload, but sprays away and does reveal his position. Seen it up and over the top. He's praying that a head will be revealed to him, but nobody graceful enough to oblige. So this Lamps controls the aim of the game here for EDG. Haunt wraps his way through into the back. Nobody's going to be spotted. Orbital strike from Adacaptain. Good to clear this one through and away. Dizzy, but over the top with the wall. Gives him that cover. Kang full running. Get the hell out of here. It's a ridiculous adjustment, and Simon's still locking down control. Fut have no more chances available to them. And CNED has to concede the space, has to concede the round.
Fut are giving away too many early kills. I mean, Yedajay in this round taking an egregious risk, I think. Getting caught by Shishu. But then also, what a whiff from Adacaptain coming around the back as well. Yeah. There are opportunities for Fut to be able to get back into these rounds or to, you know, just stabilize and not give away the advantages at the beginning. But EDG are playing patiently, playing slowly with the op, and it's getting so much value because Fut are getting antsy, and it's forcing mistakes out of them. Maybe not even forcing the mistakes out of them necessarily. It's just the sheer lack of information. And Fut make the unforced error. We haven't seen a CNED Kang sniper battle yet today.
Yeah, not quite blessed with it. Might be coming up soon though. Both players in position. Much harder shot to land though. Walk into the face of CNED. You do not want to be peeking through that one. Kang looks his way up. Chichi was already there, way ahead of him. Making sure to cover. Firepower's there. First picks slow and steady as you go for EDG. So far, it's worked out in their favor. Just barely spots the leg. Damage done to Cracks, drops him down to 5 HP.
And a captain incentivized to go aggressive. In a round like this, you got to take risks. It's not similar to the previous, where you wanted to minimize.
Bring them.
EDG putting a slow squeeze on Foot right now. It's working.
Both Prowler's going to be committed. They know that there's at least some presence out towards the hook angle. Util going to be used to push them back here. And the captain is very much alone in this spot. Without too much to work with. Another round wait. EDG to get this plant down. Ults are really starting to become a problem soon as well.
Yeah, massive issue. I was wondering if Kang would even get the plant here, actually, to get his showstopper online, but I'm pretty sure he feels comfortable being able to pick up an ult orb. Captain going for a dance, seeing if he can get any closer to a range where the Stinger's favored.
He'll advise, though, to really just tango with this guy, Kang. Again, just so keen to lock down those angles. Earns up the showstopper. One away from a multitude of ults now, too. Nobody close to the Thrash. One away from the orbital strike as well for Smoggy. EDG, at this point, are primed and ready to run away with a half.
Yeah, I think this should be them dominantly winning the half here. The last 2 rounds, they do have to drag some ults out of Foot. I mean, last time Foot pitted towards short. EDG might want to either have some counterplay around that, go in the opposite direction. We can see that Yedajay is going to try to mix it up and pit B long.
Very aggressive. Is he going to be using the showstopper? Smoggy shuts us down mid-air, but it's exchanged evenly. 4 versus 4 now, and with that play being made, you could call for the fast pivot if you are EDG. Simon, this time though, choosing the creep and crawl his way in through showers, taking back that control, swapping it around with the weaponry. No noise made. Control gained, and as Yedajay just seeks to get that mid-round information, he will be punished out of captain. Molly has to rebound, and they know exactly where it is. It's blood in the water, and EDG are keen for it.
Another situation where Yedajay gets punished going for that. And EDG's ults looking insurmountable at this point. Foot backing up. Their economy's in shambles. They're about to enter the final round of the half. They need 5 rounds. It's not looking likely, though.
No.
Ever since EDG slowed things down, Foot have had no answer. Their ability to gain information on the defense side here has not been through coordinated util retakes and reclears of areas. It's just been peeking in. And I think that's because EDG have been doing so much contacting. They're contacting around the map with Kang's operator as the tip of the spear.
You already know that's a bad idea. Money is blooming and blossoming. I mean, Kang does not care about giving his own life away. He just wants to take the guns away from Foot themselves, with nobody dropped as well. Believe he has his ult online. Yeah,
if CNED had the money at any point in this half, a defense side op would actually be a good idea. But he's never had the economy to get one online. It's a great kill from Smoggy. If that had gone down untraded, you know, maybe the round's a little different. But to be honest, it's just all looked like EDG in control.
Yeah, it has. As you mentioned, as soon as they slow it down with the operator in hand, I mean, sometimes, you know, that's the thing that beats EDG, is that slow play, running out of options when they don't get given those easy kills. But, I mean, Foot have been handing it to them.
Yes. And this tack timeout, it's the final round of the half. So, Gaius is already going to be able to talk to them during the halftime and talk to them about when they move on to the attack. So this tack timeout is being burnt just to try to get one singular round. Does that mean they're going to come in with some kind of set play, or is it just to try to readjust the overall strategy? I think not putting your life on the line with these info peaks is super important. They haven't forced EDG to exec with the op yet, because EDG have always got into an advantage player position before they're required to do that. But even if you force EDG to go for an execute and Kang swaps the operator back onto somebody else, they're going to be running at you with Thrash and Orbital Strike and then pit in the post plant. It's going to be so tough. You've put yourself in an awful spot now.
Money's at the point now where EDG, look at him. I mean, he's flexing his wealth. He's swapping around the weaponry like nobody's business. Rifle at your feet.
You get an op. You get an op.
Exactly. And they are grouped up fully over towards A here, so EDG potentially thinking about cooking up a play to punish a defensive pit if it was laid down by edgvsfut, but he's nowhere near this A site. That gives free ground for EDG. Smokes are down. Thrash now going to be used. Orbital Strike to clear just out that potential player. Snakebite up and around to the side here. There is no showers control for EDG. That is it in the danger zone. Plant down now. Nobody going to be aiming to get that one, but it's pre-fired down and away. And the pit, a bit preemptive here from EDG.
Very much so.
Yeah.
It's going to stop them from controlling really important sight lines. It's going to make it much easier for Foot to deny plant.
The A side is just entirely split up in twine.
If they go through the teleporter, edgvsfut's waiting.
This is really where it gets awkward. Start to see the untested nature of these compositions as well, because, I mean, hesitancy to me right now is looking like a bit of just uncertainty of what to do into this spot here. They know that showers is a problem. They can't quite clear it again. Nobody going to go for a second round of things. Wingman back online. Nightfall called, but want to fight. This time held down as the rifle's in hand. Running and gunning at a captain. Brings down nobody. Right from behind though, Smoggy strikes back. And one left alone. It's edgvsfut. Once more asked to do way too much. They don't even want the A side. Taking it. Okay, I mean, TP.
That's so tragic from edgvsfut's point of view. He was in hookah the entire round. If only he'd waited there, maybe he could have caught Kankan, but of course he rotated.
Spike planted.
He is going to be unexpected. Having said that, Smoggy's watching.
Yeah, he is. Might have even spotted him there. Unorthodox angle. edgvsfut's got a lot to clear. Lot to clear, not enough, not just with the Bulldog in his hand. So an 8-4 finish, felt almost preordained, I think, from the way that EDG were playing that one. Another strong showcase here for Bind.
Lovely performance from EDG. It really is. They're looking strong to try to close this one out.
.30 seconds left. One enemy remaining.
Red Bull gives you wings.
Questions now laid at the feet of these Foot players is, how do you manage to overcome this? Again, a 4-round deficit. If the pistol round doesn't go your way, you can essentially call it curtains, because your room to move and wiggle and buffer in terms of rounds, it's not much. And so far, this map is looking quite untested. I mean, I know that they've said in interviews that they put a lot of work into their own binds, but when you move over to the new comp, a lot of extra elements that go amiss for them. So far, it hasn't looked convincing.
And EDG on defense on this map are very convincing. Their B setup in particular, I think they play around Nobody's Dizzy excellently. EDG have been putting in the work. It didn't look super convincing in China. It looked like the other teams were catching up. But maybe that's a sign of the entire region finally ready to take scalps in a major way at Champions. We've already seen Trace do it with Vitality.
Oh, yeah.
This is another EMEA team looking to fall here to the #1 seed from China.
EDG looking to shut down the naysayers, the doubters, but bullet straight to the dome into Kankan. Be holding your breath a little bit longer.
Certainly looked from our perspective like that was through a smoke.
Gone here.
Seen it Wants to square up to this one here. He's trying to be cool, calm, and collected with the aim, but not really enough to survive. He did get the one before the trade come through. Instant reaction, Foot make their way over towards B, but the Spike is, I guess, different ideas about it. Mr. Fallen's moving in a different direction. They know that A is completely opened up here with the TPs heard and called. EDG now have lost all semblance of map control.
And Foot planning for backside here. Flipping the map in a way that they really struggled to on Lotus, but here on Bind, understanding how important that is. Krax is in a great position to backstab, as the rest of EDG should be focused on going down short.
You can hear the footsteps. Fallen catches it, sees the two of them. Mosh still available, ready and waiting for this, and striking from behind, Krax. Happy to deliver the death blow, at least the Chichu flashes in util, a little bit too much to overcome, tapping away with a ghost in hand. Smoggy is crouching for dear life and even just returns the fire himself. 2v3 though. They need a lot more where that came from. Time starting to get away from them. Adacaptain again will ward them back. Dropping the two of them, pissed around for Foot, grants them that lifeline.
They needed that if there was any chance of coming back into Bind. Pushing things to sunset, which would also be a brutal map for Foot. I think it's probably EDG's best, the decider here. A nice opener from CNED. That one starts to get the job done. CNED himself is going to pick up a Vandal heading into the next round too. And EDG full stacking the B site. Now, when I said earlier that their B defense is good, this is not the standard, but I think their B defense is going to be pretty potent here.
Drop it up holding. Even trying to take that fight straight up.
He won it.
Yeah, he did win it, but the rifle's going to be retrieved. But you have to worry about this. Cutting up these angles, Adacaptain. Molly at the feet of many of them. Smoggy, hello. That was just not coordinated in the slightest. Adacaptain is having a field day. He's farming up multiple kills. Just needs to keep this rifle going.
He really does need the rifle. He's got reinforcements coming back along, so they might be able to recover this.
Okay.
Or throw it away, perhaps.
Yeah. Foot tried to supply the reinforcements and already did supplying the bodies. EDG now. An opportunity. They don't want to let this one slip. It's Foot that are already the ones who have made it nice and open. Possibility for them. Backing away this time though. Foot want to play this one with more discipline. Crossfire set up nade. Just rebounding. A lot of angles to clear. Simon's going to be trying to take that first point of contact. Defuse. Trying to stick this half. Dizzy dealt with again, but the adjustment and the rifle aim not quite there from the EDG players. Definitely did some damage, don't get me wrong.
Foot will be very happy that the Vandal got delivered back to them as well. Can't pick that one up, and so Foot can save it into the next round. It is going to mean, though, that two players have got to sit there with pistols. Whereas if the bonus had gone a bit better, they would have had full 5 rifles online. EDG doing damage to the economy. The only downside was Adacaptain got so many kills. He's kind of getting close to that orbital strike. He's only 2 away. Could get into a good position with it and then make a very unwinnable post. What a shot from CNED.
Okay, if he's firing like this, it's not just a chance. They might even be able to take this map. Shutting down a star player of China. Growler gliding past, could bait somebody right in here in the footsteps, maybe. Simon's back onto the angle.
He knows this is fake pressure in showers now. This is great information for Simon.
And he's moved right past it. Yet J might be getting a closer look and a tango. Simon does not expect it. The game of those timings, they both thought that they had the read, but it's Yet J who comes out on top. Even if he did just have that pistol in hand. Never to push this one back now. No plant denial, so Mr. Fallen gets that extension. EDG is scattered with only 3 of them left. They've already made the call to just not even play into it.
Wow. What a disciplined decision there to just save in a 3v5. I mean, obviously, you've lost 2 players. It's going to be very difficult. And I think the other factor that might be playing into it is that if you go for this, you take the opportunity and you lose. Well, between that failed retake attempt and the eco that would come afterwards, Mr. Fallen, CNED, and Adacaptain are all going to get up to their ults.
Exactly.
So not only would you lose the round, likely, but you would also send yourself spiraling away.
If you've been watching Valorant at any point this year, you know it's going to be a death blow sentence. You can't let this composition get going, generating the ults, because at that point you're generating execs, possibilities. plays to be cooked up. Foot convert that bonus round. The economy booming.
And off the back of that guy there, CNED.
Yeah.
And this opener was fantastic. We've seen a couple of odd moments from CNED today where he's missed some spots where you expect him to get it. But most of what we've seen from the Turkish superstar is excellence. I mean, he's been going around, taking shots, opening sights up for them on the entry. It's the rest of the team that needs to step up around him, I think, if they want to make this comeback a reality.
Rolling back the years a little bit, CNED. These kind of performances. One of 4 players at this event that could potentially lift the second Champs Trophy.
If Foot are the team that lifts the second Champs Trophy.
I mean,
CNED wasn't favoured to lift the first one. That one came out of nowhere with Ascend in 2021.
Very, very true.
But it is Champs. I mean, that just shows you the fact that CNED has that trophy shows you a lot of it is about turning up at the tournament. Having that form, having that excellence when it matters. That's what all the Chinese fans are hoping EDG can do as well. But Kankan's going to get shut down. That light armor not helping.
Yeah, a bit of miscommunication, I think, as well, that sightline was open. Right for the taking here, Foot. They're pouncing on the chance. Another plant down, 2 players left to stand. Smoggy might just want to save this rifle. Simon can go hunting, poking around, maybe see if he can take some guns out of hands of them. But again, the question remains, do you want to be generating these ults for them? Because one away, CNED, Mr. Fallen. They're holding on to these angles. Fallen's got it.
And CNED could play for an ult orb, really. I mean, both are accessible to the attackers. So I don't think it's necessary that he goes and hunts this down, but he's going to go for it anyway. A death is fine here, by the way.
Yeah, at this point, I mean, he's got 5k in the bank, so ult for the next round. Happy with it.
And EDG probably going to be able to get a buy together even if Smoggy does go down, so it's not do or die for Foot to chase this Vandal in spawn.
But the trouble is, EDG at this point are losing track and grip of the series, or at least the map, I should say.
The map, for sure. The series is still looking good with them taking away Foot's map pick on Lotus. Like I said, Sunset, EDG, they'll be feeling really confident about that. At the same time, you'd love to close things out in 2 if you are EDG, who are currently taking the attack timeout to make sure that this doesn't snowball even further out of control.
I mean, so it was already an 8-4 half at the beginning.
And you win pistol, you win bonus, and suddenly you're right back in it as Foot.
Exactly.
And this is where the ults are massively important, because as much as EDG can come up with a game plan here, it's got to be one that takes into account that CNED's got a showstopper to burst down, you know, if he wants to go hookah or if he wants to go through short. And he's going to have a Thrash clearing the way from him as well. And if you decide to play retake setups, first of all, those are difficult on bind, and secondly, Foot are probably going to sniff that out and just save one of the ults for post plan. It is really tough to deal with rounds like this, where it's an eco swing round. If EDG lose it, they're back, broken economy. Normally, teams will decide to try to take aggressive fights, because if you can challenge Foot before they get into position to use their showstopper or their Thrash, then maybe you've got a chance. If you can get that pick early enough, you got to take risks in rounds where you've got a disadvantage like that.
Question's going to be asked, I think, of the playbook of EDG and the defensive halves. You know, as much as we were singing the praises of it,
a lot of that was them letting teams exec into them.
Yeah.
And anchoring against that. You're not going to want to do a strat like that when the other team has massive attack ultimates.
That might be occurring.
Oh, what a read.
Yeah. This is a high-low setup out towards Truck. They might be just trying to beam down CNED if he tries to make the move towards it. Mosh, unconventional location for it. Jump spot and Haunt. Right, abound and through. Thrash is going to try and lead the way, pave a chance potentially for them to get themselves into their site. Kang forced and pushed back and away. Chichu playing spoiler. Rifle spray down. Barely escaping off to the side as well. This fight's happening all over the bloody place with a spike in his laps. Chichu might have done enough. Just needs to back away and survive here. Barely getting around the corner. Rifle reload on point. Spam through the corner. This guy is low. But the damage done, as I said prior,
he's going to get caught.
Might be enough.
Can he take another
one? Yeah, I mean, there's fire from every single avenue. Reclear cord. EDG trying to go with this one. A bit more pace as well. That's Dizzy and TP. Reclear around. CNED, he's offloaded the ult as well. And now everybody scatters right to the wind. This is just sloppy gaming.
He's one shot as well. One Vandal body shot. and he goes down in that situation. He's popped the ultimate there just to try to stabilize the round. So it's a 3v3 at the end of the day, and I think EDG will be super happy about how this one has turned out. As bonkers as it seemed, they've actually reset into a situation where they can win. They've even got the read correct. 2 players defending A.
With 20 seconds remaining. Time becoming an issue. Rotating away though. Simon, Haunt didn't see anything. He thinks it's towards B. And there is that Marsh, nobody. Waits it out, Yedajay's planting. There's nothing to clear this one away. He's just trying to walk up onto the angle. He does spot him, weak enough. Bullet to the chest, as you already mentioned. Now down to that 2 versus 3. Mosh overhead. Dizzy alongside it. All combined. Wingman, get that first tap, force them out wide, Simon. That is a Ferrari peak on the swing. Coming straight to the defense, jumping, hopping up onto the box. EDG, they stem the bleeding.
Frustration for CNED. They had massive advantages in that round, and EDG took it away. Did they play something proactive? I mean, not necessarily at the start of the round. They had 4 players stacked over towards A, recognizing that Thrash, Showstopper, most likely going to be used either hookah or short. Pick one, short. All right, we'll stack A. But then, the escapades through the teleporter.
Yeah, cue to Benny Hill theme, I think. That's just...
But it worked out.
It did. It did. Sometimes that's what you need, an injection of that Chinese chaos that the region is known for.
And now very different ults to come online. Foot close to ones that are good in the post plant, not ones that are good to open up a site. Whereas EDG are just starting to get to their first of everything. Double stack up towards hookah here. Going for a push, Yedajay. It's all about timing.
No way. Trying to take this one again. Contact play, once broken. Good adjustment with the rifle lane, but it's traded. So 4 versus 4. That's where we stand in round 18. Smokes up in their face. Foot have the position. Could try and explode out into this one, and they're going to do just that now. Nobody's got to push this one back and away. Prowler in his face nade as well. Got to respect that. Tiptoeing around most of this util. Falling with the plan as well. That's Wingman sprayed. Down and away. Another chance here, but do they have a second wave of util? EDG might just try and put a stop to it. No, out of Captain gets that extension and an ult earned over the strike to carry forwards into the next. It's good into this post plan. Foot might be favored.
They still have Molly as well.
Control over lamps. Held down. Pre-fires around. C's dropped. And players alongside it. This is EDG winning this one out. Forwards and away. Rifles, crouch and spraying. Out of Captain. He has no time or rest to take this one. Simon with the tap. It does force out and over the strike. But Kang. My God, man. Running them down. And EDG, they take away another one.
Very tight spacing there from EDG. Good coordination. Good discipline. And hitting their shots when it matters too. If Foot had maybe been able to respond in lamps, the round could have been very different. But they weren't. 2 players, one caught by the C's, the other flicked onto. Cine could not trade. In terms of the rifle skill today, EDG have turned up to a higher degree, I think, than Foot. Not every player, Yedajay and Cine still holding their own, finding good timings. But as an entire team, EDG are being able to win these team fight scenarios more often. Tag timeout, suddenly the shoe is on the other foot.
Yeah, okay. All right, mate. Be looking for a new co-caster at this rate.
Not even intentional, but I mean, that's even worse, isn't it?
It's even worse.
But EDG have got massive ultimates, right? And these are good for defense. And Kang has got enough money to pick up the operator, which, spoiler alert, he has. So, Cine guys, they're all going to be there trying to figure out how do they get past all of the tools that EDG have to now close out the map and close out the series.
And EDG would love to do that. Again, reiterating, they've got a very angry hometown crowd after the back of that Shanghai performance where they just bombed out entirely. But maybe this event could be the event for China. We're already seeing upsets occurring, as we already mentioned. Trace the other day over Vitality. EDG, well, this wouldn't necessarily be an upset. I think most people were panning this one to be quite a close match, but a strong start for them out of the gates is kind of necessary for champs here.
EDG 1-4 across Madrid and Shanghai. So that shows you how desperate they are for a win.
It's been dire this year. EDG drop down and lay down that pit. Fut do not have big ults to try and clear their way through this one.
And they're just kind of looking at the pit, wondering whether they should be going inside it, pressuring it. They have no showers control. Normally, if you're going to pressure a pit like this, you need showers.
And this is where I think the weaknesses in terms of the amount of time Fut has put into this comp might be showcasing. Wide open just from the inability, I think, just to pass through some of these defensive setups. Kang with the op. Posted back up. Chances now at a captain. Top of the fountain. Needs to stay alert. Doesn't know which angle it's going to be. Barely a leg spotted out and through.
Even if you're pressuring, though, he's got the showstopper in his back pocket.
Yeah.
So you can't run him down this time.
So we can afford to play this one a little bit more close. Nate doesn't even catch onto the corner. I mean, seeing it's failed to even clear this one here, it's used as a response. At least EDG going to be getting util pulled back out of them. B-Long control is conceded and given up. Wingman spots it. Nobody. You're really going to try and take this fight. Live and true here. It's a showstopper. It's already used preemptively. 25 seconds left. The door's open, wide open. Fut. Doesn't matter, man. Slow play all you like here. Stumbling EDG. Struggling to even put a stop to it. TP pivots though, round and round we go. Smoggy, he's ADS'd, he's locked it up. Pit dropped down to try and get them in the spot as well, but the molly stopping them from even getting this plant down. Barely enough time on the clock to do so.
But now that they have secured the plant, the round almost unwinnable. Smoggy was the last chance, the last hope for EDG. Their B defense collapsing a little, and Fut with a nice pivot through the teleport.
I'm just scratching my head at that.
At which part of it?
I mean, EDG's defensive B, I think, is that they had every single tool necessary to stunt and just stop any sort of exec, and they used it all preemptively.
Yeah, normally, like I say, normally they're really good at being able to hold multiple cycles of that util. I think the big problem in this round for them was that nobody tried to hop back inside.
Simon,
I mean, there's no
way. There's just no way, mate. Yeah.
Our first ninja defuse at a global event? I don't think that's likely. Yeah, the hop back into hookah from nobody, I think, was our first, listen, the first that I've seen, first nobody feed of the day. I know he's 4-15 at the bottom of the scoreboard, but he's, you know, he hasn't been throwing his life away too much. But this one,
yeah,
walking back into the haunt, back into hookah, instead of backing off with the rest of your team, I think he was worried about maybe the Brim ult at his back.
It's a strange one. Bit of a head scratcher. EDG, now they're the ones who have to make the risks. Deep smoke, Prowler, Dizzy, through, gets that connection. They hear the footsteps running all the way around, ring around a Rosie. Mr. Fulham with a rifle, tried to pre-aim onto the corner, but he's going to get postured and pushed back. Out and away, EDG have control, deep flanks occurring all through the middle of the map here. Might be looking to try and take that fight, and the call is made by Fut to refight. They don't want to flip the map at all, just trying to take it with the weaponry, but does open them up to risky plays. Kang's from behind. Prowler in their faces. Other captains watching. No way, the time is just about missed, and he hears it. Sound cues around. Chaos incarnate occurring before our bloody eyes. Stingers away. Molly dropped down. Noise and time. Born, but the shot's fired and missed. The sheriff in hand. Kang just cannot make it work. And this is, as I said, all over the place. Chichu. You know where he is. They know they lost control of this one, but it is controlled in the end by Fut to bring it to that 10-10.
Both teams winning vitally important rounds and then being able to secure follow-ups so that the ults, I say secure follow-ups.
One bullet left. Hey up, Chichu. There's no way, right? There's absolutely no way. 1v2. Taking a peek at a captain's way ahead of it again. He pokes his head out. 1v1. You can't be letting him get away with this. Not in the slightest. Pre-aim into the wall again. Another reload online. But this is so damn precarious. Retreat by Cracks. Backs away.
At some point, Shishu's got to go for the spike.
And when does that timing come? Peeking through again. Uncertainty at the back of the mind of Cracks as well. Spots it. But just a fade away shot, man. It is so damn messy.
Don't count him out of any round. My mistake there, assuming that Fut had got that one sealed up. Wasn't familiar with EDG's eco game, apparently. 10-10 though. Both teams have let slip opportunities. It looked like Fut had a huge one to be able to get back into the game, and it looked like EDG had it. You know, they were 10-8 up, ready to run away with things. Both teams fighting tooth and nail to stay in here on bind. And this is looking like it's going to be an A execute.
Or at least the showers take.
Well, the Mosh as well. Lineup thrown.
Now a Nightfall as well. Going to be used to supplement. In through the back of the side, Kang. It's an off-angle hold, in through Lamps as well. Has to be cautious, and he's worried, but still takes the peek and the timing. Trying to make a go of things here. The call is made to try and fight this one. Showstopper in the hands of CNED. There's a danger. Kang, though, he's weaved his way past most of this, and it just glides straight past him. Whistles through, a tap away, yet a J, able to offset it, at least with the movement. Survives another day here. Chichu, though, rapidly approaching, out for the side. There is chaos. Again, occurring before our very eyes. Chichu, he's isolated, caught into the corner, out for showers here, just trying to make this one a bit winnable. Nobody to defuse is going to be pushed back and away in a rifle spam. Not enough, no players afoot surviving. EDG get that 1 round lead now, up to 11.
Another one of those scrappy situations where EDG come out on top. Eventually, situations like that just come down to individuals and how much you can get value from your position. Could you have imagined Kang getting more value from his spot? No. Swings out from Lamps, manages to delete Ada Captain, evades a Showstopper, gets another pick inside as well. CNED trying to make a similar thing happen by walking inside the one-way, seeing if he can surprise EDG. The impact difference from the two Raze players was enormous in that spot. And then Foot on top of that lost a bunch of just straight up duels. They're going to need another big one, and they're set up for a B execute. They have Thrash. Last time they tried to take it short, this time looking somewhere different.
You've just got to be scared of this. Here's that one. Snakebite dropped. Let's break it with the Thrash there. A lot of bullets, though, going to be gliding right past, along with the Dizzy. That's a connection haunt. Nothing to offset any of this util. Foot getting full value from this one, but they can't get into the back of the side. Doesn't even matter. They'll let the util do the work. To seize, it's Molly's organ being used in conjunction on one another, and with the rifle aim in hand, it's the only thing that could steady the course. EDG got to put a stop to this. Uncertainty here still. Kang rattling the bars. This guy unleashed, and Ada Captain now to do so much more, pick up the pieces. One player left still onto the side. He's got to know that Smoggy might be here. Haunt's there, picks up the spike, reload. Not even tapping, doesn't even expect it, but now knows. Isolating the fight into the 1v1. And another tap here, Smoggy. How the hell do you play this one? Ada Captain not expecting, still trained onto the angle, but Smoggy finds it. And the 12th round, eventually, it was a laboured course to get there, but EDG smiled on their faces.
Smoggy is putting on a masterclass in terms of his smoke utility here as well. The smoke that he's putting down on the left side towards Cubby is actually allowing them so much control over backside. Look how difficult it is in these replays for Foot to try to break through that when they peek. They're not going through the smoke. Smoggy pierces the Merc, is able to actually be able to deliver them the final kill in a 1v1 clutch. Kang back to the old classic, the old reliable of the op and the Showstopper. They're leaving him B-side completely to deal with on his own. Everyone else on EDG stacks A, making the read.
Is he still getting that connection? Nobody will pick that one back up. They're leaving Lamps nice and empty just because of that orbital strike. Ada Captain holding on to it. Don't want to fall prey to it.
How are Foot going to get the read that there's 4 players on this site?
Nobody's hard committed. Smokes are primed, now going to be dropped down here. Now the orbital strike alongside it. So space does have to be given up with the Haunt up and over. Reveal onto the 2. Nade's going to rebound. CNED, you are so damn vulnerable. Up still trying to play off this util. He's been dropped. Orbital strike now going to be earned and now going to be used on either side here. There's a skirmish occurring. Showers control is EDG's. And with it, the round almost inevitable. Ada Captain, a mad dash away, but into the open arms. EDG, a 2-0 finish for their opening game of champs.
What a way to start things off here in Seoul. Instantly dispelling all of the bad vibes that were acquired during their flat performance at Shanghai. When they were in front of their home crowd, they go straight into the next event, instantly 2-0, dismiss another EMEA team that's fallen to a Chinese squad. This one not necessarily an underdog match. I think a lot of people would have favored EDG in the game, but a 2-0 where they looked like they were in control, honestly, of both maps,
Yeah.
it's impressive. It was scrappy, but we knew it was going to get like that. When you have players on both sides that love taking the aim fights, I think EDG are going to be confident out the back of this, and they've dodged that fated matchup against Paper Rex.
They did.
Another reason to be happy.
A lot of the Chinese fans as well flying out just to cheer on their own home crowd teams. Take a bow. Well deserved after that one as well. Despite how tumultuous that second map looks, you can't argue with the results. 2-0 finish. Not bad at all for the opening game.
And for Foot, they didn't really turn up today. They were struggling with their adaptations on Lotus. Struggled to be able to turn up on an individual level, I think, over the course of this series. They'll be disappointed. And for them, a meeting with Paper X offers no easier players to go up against. This EDG team is going to be the story of the day. I wonder if we'll see big performances coming out from FBX as well. Just to keep talking about these Chinese squads, that game against Heretics was super close.
Oh yeah, it was.
This could be the event where we finally see breakout performances, not just from one team, but actually the whole region catching up.
That was a question we had at the beginning of this match as well. You know, with EDG getting pushed regionally, you know, is that just a result of them slipping, or is it a result of regional parity, of the other teams actually getting better? And with every result, with every win that China as a region is able to accrue and build up at this event, the more it looks likely that the region is finally coming online, paying dividends.
Absolutely. I'm excited now to see the rest of these games. I mean, EDG themselves are going to be going up against G2. That is a tough matchup. They're going to be tested, but they're going to be confident after what they did today.
Yeah, they certainly are. I mean, so far, stellar performances from a lot of individuals, but we're going to send it down to the floor now for the Verizon post-match interview. I believe Kung Kung standing by.